Well, and what's become an almost daily trek to Trump land for the latest head scratcher from the Capitol? Well, let's connect with CTV's Richard Madden. Well, Richard, some eye-browsing comments out of the presidency. I guess I'm not allowed to say it on the air. He called African countries and Haiti how do I describe this? Poop hole? That would be the polite way of saying it. Tell me what this is all about and where's that going with?
Yeah, this is some breaking news from the Washington Post that was just posted just a few moments ago. And the context here, it comes during a very tense debate over immigration overhaul here in the United States as the president tries to reach a bipartisan deal with the Democrats and Republicans. Earlier today, this was not on the public schedule. President Trump was meeting with lawmakers behind closed doors where he described his frustrations and restoring protections for immigrants from Haiti, from El Salvador, and African countries. And Trump said, quote, "Why are we having all these people from these expletive countries come here?" And he was referring to people from African countries and Haiti. And then he suggested that the United States should open up its borders to people from Norway, where the prime minister from Norway was here yesterday. So this is really going to cause some serious damage from the White House just around the world on what the president's thinking is of really people of color. Now, this is not the first time the president has made these remarks. You'll recall recently he described people from Haiti as, quote, "they all had AIDS." And he said certain people from African countries that come to the United States, once they see America, he said, quote, "they won't go back to their huts." And we also know that this is a president who somewhat defended neo-Nazis in Charlottesville when he called them, quote, "some very fine, some very good people." So this is a seriously disturbing message from the President of the United States. Now, the press secretary has just replied moments ago. It's a really lengthy statement. It just goes on to say certain Washington politicians choose to fight for foreign countries, but President Trump will always fight for the American people. It goes on to say he will always reject temporary, weak, and dangerous stopgap measures. He's referring to immigration that threaten the lives of hardworking Americans and undercut immigrants who seek a better life in the United States through a legal pathway. Throughout this entire statement, there's no denying from the White House press secretary that President Trump indeed said that. So this is really it's blowing up on social media right now, Dawn, and the White House likely in continued damage control by sending this message to the rest of the world.
I appreciate that this is breaking and you literally have had minutes to digest it, but has there been any social media reaction officially from, say, the Democrats or any of the countries that he's been naming in this?
Yeah. Haven't seen anything yet, Don. As I said, as you noted, this just blew up a few moments ago. So, this is a story that's developing, but surely this is not a message that you would expect from the President of the United States, but here we are.
Wow. All right. Well, his day started a little confusing. He woke up to create a Twitter storm. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so this is another, some more conflicting comments from the president's Twitter account this morning. And apparently he was watching Fox and Friends where they were quite critical on what's called FISA, this program or this policy that is used for surveillance. It picks up audio, chatter, text messages, and so forth. Trump went on Twitter and he blasted this policy, saying that basically it harms individual liberties. And he tweets this on the day where Congress was voting to extend this FISA legislation. Then he goes on to say, but then again, we need to protect our homeland, the homeland security. So again, the White House and damage control insisting that there has been no contradiction in terms that the president was just stating what he's always stated. And it's really the journalists or the American public who are confused, not the president. So that was just another head scratcher coming out of the White House briefing room today.
Anything out of the White House on the serious topic today serious for us anyway, on these NAFTA talks? Getting any reaction on that or our WTO challenge?
Yeah, sure is. I'm just going to pull it up here because this is another head scratcher today. President Trump speaking to the Wall Street Journal. He was referring to NAFTA and as the deal progresses, and he used NAFTA as a bargaining chip to get Mexico to pay for the wall. And let me explain. Trump says they, meaning Mexico, can pay for it indirectly through NAFTA. We can make a good deal on NAFTA and say, I'm going to take a small percentage of that money, and it's going towards the wall. Guess what? Mexico's paying. So that really makes no sense at all. How would Mexico pay for the wall through NAFTA unless the president views it as a transaction? Obviously, a trade deal is more than just a check that goes from Mexico to the United States or vice versa. So still waiting for some clarification on the White House what exactly the president meant when it comes to NAFTA. However, the NAFTA drama still continues, as yesterday it was widely reported and then later somewhat knocked down that the Canadians are getting quite concerned that the president will pull the pin and withdraw from NAFTA before this round takes place in Montreal at the end of January. The White House said they haven't changed their strategy. They're still discussing it. But then this afternoon, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin was asked that very same question, where things stand. And this is what he had to say, further escalating tensions.
We gave the president an update this morning on trade. I think he's very pleased with where things are going. Ambassador Lighthizer is doing an amazing job renegotiating NAFTA, and we expect that will be renegotiated or we'll pull out.
All right. Interesting stuff,
so,
Richard. All right. I'm almost out of time on this one, but this is very much a work in progress. We will catch up with you, I'm sure, tomorrow. Thanks very much for your help on this.
Okay, Donald.